craftsmanship in terms of building that one sees without any pictures, because the sacred's not supposed to be represented in images, but still you get the sense of the divine just by looking at it and being in the presence of it.
That's why I said let's wait till we get over there.
Seulement tu tournes.
Okay, so
Les
maintenant,
éléments entrez.
on peut voir.
Oui, oui, oui.
We cannot go in because it's prayer time. I mean, we can't go inside the mosque, but we can go in to see what's, a certain part of it. Okay? It's only certain times that it's open for us to go all the way in, and now is the time. We as black people were not supposed to go to certain parts of town. We were not supposed to go, we didn't go to the same schools as our white friends and so on and so forth. That was the system. You know about that, right? Okay. So, however, my parents, my teachers, the deacons, deaconesses in the church and so on, they said to me, you can do anything you want to do. Like we're telling you right now. You can do anything you want to do. You can be anything you want to be because no one is better than you. That's what I heard all the time. Not only that, no one is better than you, but we are depending on you to do something, to do service, and to represent the community and bring something back for your family and your community. That was in my head all the time.
Good morning, ma'am, sir. Is the lady of the house to home? I have here a fine assortment of assorted useful, useless utensils. They are all designed to take the work out of housework. Yeah. Oh, yes, indeed, ma'am. It's guaranteed, to answer every household need. And it's wonderful. I just can't find the words to say it.
In terms of what you just saw, what Professor Owusu, Ms. Rose, and Mr. Tamayo have been showing you is how to technically manipulate the camera, how to focus on the subject, how to capture that subject, and so on. But the part that I want you to understand and focus on is that you, the manipulators of the camera, those who are organizing the story behind the images that you recorded a little while ago, those people always have an agenda. Do you know what I mean by agenda?
I think is what Dr. Joyce talked about. The gaze. Whose perspective are you telling the story through? Because if you're a very good editor, if you're a very good camera person, and you're not telling your story, you're doing a very good job at telling someone else's story. You're sabotaging yourself. Alright? So don't just be the tool. Be the director of the story. Be the producer of the story.
Therefore, when they felt the need to satisfy themselves sexually, some of them went to town for the local ladies. Others decided to use the female slaves who were kept down here. So they came down from their residence up there, came and looked among the female slaves, picked out the attractive ones, and if you yielded to their pressure, they gave you a thorough bath, sent you up there, sexually abused you, and brought you back. Those who resisted were pushed in here. They lock you up, use the drainage system as your toilet. They gave you food through here. You spent no less than 7 days here. The purpose, the intention was for you to change your mind. So the next time when you come, you give it. Remember that once you enter this arena or this venue, there was no way, there was no way you're going to escape. Who are you going to call? And who was going to respond to your call? You don't talk about human rights. And most of the treatment given to those who resisted, when they came out and narrated to their colleagues, they found that the safest way out was to give in. On the staircase here, between smaller boats, and they were ferried away. And as they did so, the officials came down from this door, up there, leaned over this wall to see how they were being packed. I'm happy you've been to the main museum. You saw the artist's impression of how they were packed. And someone describes that the way books are packed on a shelf. Up here we have a door of return. Why now door of return? Remember this say about coming back home, tracing their roots. Therefore in 1998, there was a special ceremony where two slaves who had died, one a lady from Jamaica by name Crystal, and one from US by name Samuel Carson, in collaboration with their relatives, their bodies were exhumed, flown through Kotoka Airport to Accra, then to a town here called Abanze for a special ceremony. After the ceremony, their remains were put into a boat through this door. Now they are buried at Asim Manso, another slave market. Remember 500 years ago, they were compared to pass through a door of no return. But now, the two have symbolically come to open a door of return. Because of miscommunication, lack of communication, they couldn't understand one another. So they were fighting among themselves. They were underfed. So the little that came, they were fighting for the food and all these things. Therefore, when they found you giving them trouble by their standards, no, they came to push you inside here. There were 3 of such doors. Look at the thickness. 2, there are no ventilation holes. 3, no food. 4, no water be given you. The frontage here, where there was some amount of ventilation, was reserved for their guards who misbehaved. And that guard was kept there for a few hours and brought out. But the inner room, which you went through 2 doors, no, were meant for the slaves. So we shall go in and see how the situation looks like. But assurance, we are coming back alive.
Well, I heard you never told that he told a dirty lie, baby. Well, I heard you never told that he told.
They didn't just come because they were strong and they could stand the diseases and the heat. They had the skills and the knowledge. Because cotton doesn't grow in Europe. Sugar cane doesn't grow in Europe. Rice doesn't grow in Europe. Oh, indigo doesn't grow in Europe. None of those products grow in Europe. They are grown and cultivated here on this continent for 5,000 years. The people who went over, yes, they were strong. Yes, they could stand the diseases perhaps, but they also had the knowledge of how to process those crops, how to grow them, how to dig those canals. So for the rice in South Carolina and Georgia and so on and so forth, how to process the sugar cane on those plantations and make rum, and so on and so forth. They had the knowledge. So they were specially ordered from certain regions. You said they were branded, that's right. You know, in other parts of the West Coast, you know, like Liberia or Sierra Leone, they were brought specifically mail ordered almost because they had the skill in rice growing, okay? So it's important to know, and because of their skills, what they built in just the United States alone equals into the quadruple millions of dollars in terms of wealth and riches that was built. So let's talk about the tragedy that was done and the ongoing suffering and the lack of resolution of humanity. It also, I tell my students, follow the money.
I went underground and showed you the 3rd compartment, that observation hole. So you look at the linkage. Church, observation hole. Church, observation hole. So while you are there singing holy, 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 then you come to look whether your goods were safe.
the royaume. He's not a king. So, but his first son is a Hakon first. He became king in 1739. No, 1729.
Can I add something? So in 17, the name Hakon, that is his name. That is his direct ancestor.
You see? So, all these are kings until they come to 1975, when during the revolution. So the revolution abolished all the kingdom, all that to become in power. So when we come to this place, this king, the Befa, just go to the dark room and sustain himself. We have all the story when we get to the visual. So after this time, they went back with a far to Hakon again. So it's a Hakon come back again. So that's why the Zanzibar is the guardian of the king. That time up to today. So in the whole world, is the king, Batozumen, is in charge of Zanzibar. But he used to appoint one man, one representative they call Zangandaho. They call him Zangandaho to be in charge. They have their own administration, exactly like King Palace, but under the king. You follow what I said?
Your Majesty, thank you for having us again. It was great to see you in Boston. And what I'd like to know is what can our students do more to directly connect with the young people here when they get back to the States so they can continue to build together, even though they may be far apart across oceans? What can they do right away to help each other?
Sa Majesté m'a expliqué, je leur dis, de voir le travail que le docteur Joyce a abattu jusqu'à présent.
So just observe the work that Dr. Joyce has done up until this point.
Et il a travaillé avec l'ONG Bénin Espoir.
And how they worked with Benin Espoir, the group that gave the prizes yesterday.
S'ils peuvent rester toujours en ce contexte avec Joyce, le programme de Joyce pour Africa, et être ensemble avec Bénin Espoir. Bénin Espoir englobe tous les étudiants et tous ensemble, nous allons travailler.
So if you could stay connected to Professor Joyce and follow the connection with Hope for Africa and Benin Espoir, the student group from yesterday, if you continue down that same, along those same lines of cooperation, then that would be very important because Benin Espoir affects all the students everywhere. It's not something you can go to the market and buy and wear.
C'est pour les ancêtres.
They are ancestral, they come from
Et c'est
ancestors.
sacré.
And they're sacred.
Regardez ce qu'il a porté au cou.
And look at what he has.
C'est pour les ancêtres.
It's from the ancestors.
Et que c'est sacré, c'est là la puissance.
It's sacred, and that's where the
Ainsi
power
que
comes.
ce qu'il porte.
And the staff that he
S'il envoie
carries.
ce qu'il porte ici, s'il envoie à quelqu'un, dans l'ancien temps, la personne va courir plus qu'une voiture pour arriver ici.
In the old days, if he takes that staff and points it at somebody, he's gonna run faster than a car to get here.
C'est une sorte de convocation
It's
d'alors.
a convocation, he's invoking, he's commanding someone to come, and they're gonna come faster than the word.
Et pour devenir roi, ça ne vient pas d'un riche, ça ne vient pas d'un pauvre. Ça vient de Fa.
To become king, it doesn't come because one is rich, doesn't come because you're poor. It's determined by the Fa. Trouvez l'animal. Quelle est la connexion entre vous et cet animal? Parce qu'elle observe que c'est partout, sur les chaises, sur tout, partout. S'il vous plaît.
Iye kpɔn agafin yɔ kun ti yɛrɛ mɔ foto de yɛrɛ yɔ kpɔrɔ kun ti akpaza kɔ sɔtɔ mun yi kɔti de lura mi yɔ wɛ yi lo o kpɔ emi o mu kan ne bɔ ɔna le mɔ sɔlɔ fɔlɔ.
Sa Majesté explique que le roi, même ici, le roi, il est toujours dans les territoires de cet animal.
So look,
C'est sa
even
force.
at his,
C'est un animal puissant.
even he's wearing the clothing of that animal.
C'est dans la forêt,
It's his force.
L'animal ne soit rien dit, tout est calme.
Look, if he goes into the forest, the animal will not say anything.
Il
Everything
est là pour la
quiet.
paix, pour instaurer la paix.
He's there for peace, and he's linked to the animal, and thus nothing can happen to him.
Is Abelugonati appreciation. Best Mikaria, your class knows to thank you for your time with us, having us have fun, laugh and taking the heart to teach us because best teachers teach from the heart, not from books. Sometimes the smallest things take up most room in the heart. Even though we have not spent much time together, but we do enjoy the little things in life. For one day, we may look back and realize they were big things. Moreover, what the teacher is more important than what she teaches. It takes a big heart to help sharp little mind. The best thing
Yeah. Thank you.
He sang back to me. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, fabulous.
They're the best.